Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Just Seen motherfucking podcast. And today, as you seen from the title, I'm gonna be talking about young niggas. But from the title, I didn't put young niggas, I put YNs because this is a conversation that I really want to talk about. Um, I've been like, I've always been on the side of the youth. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I've always been on the side of the youth because I understand the voice that the youth never had. Cause when I was a youth, the motherfuckers didn't listen to our voices and shit. Like we wild the fuck out. You feel me? Now, granted, I ain't gonna say I was a young nigga back. I was a YN back in the day, but I hung with the YNs, and I could have very well been caught up with the YNs, but I didn't. In this episode, I really want to talk about is because I'm looking at how one, it's exploited, but two, like we got to look at the origins of the shit. You know, I was seeing somebody talk about how Tupac was prophetic. He really got a song called Young Niggas. But in the song, he's basically describing what the YNs, are today. Uh, but as I've always been around the young bulls, as I've always been around the little homies and shit, and being a little homie myself at one point in time, I understand what it is that turns us into these quote unquote, I'm not using this term to identify the young boys and shit like that, but the monsters that are developed. Killmonger got a line, not Killmonger, not Killmonger. He ain't got a line. I think about Killmonger when I hear this line. It's an African proverb that says, the child not embraced by the community or the child not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. The child not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel the warmth. And when I hear that, and they say, oh, the boys are terrorizing the community. Like, my nickname is Ray Ray. Me and my homies when we was young, it was Ray Ray and them. I'll let you do your deductions in that, how y'all want to look at that. But they'll say the young kids are terrorizing the neighborhood, they're terrorizing the environment. Why? No one ever stops and asks why. Nobody cares why, because they're kids and they shouldn't be doing that shit. But it's deeper than that. Because when it comes to boys, what we don't appreciate, look at, or even really respect is that we're not giving them any respect. Now, here's why that's fucked up. Because, the cliche, respect is given, it isn't earned. I mean, respect is earned, it isn't given. How the fuck are you, like, think about that mentality that you have with a child. And then now, you have respect for older motherfuckers that you don't even fucking know. They haven't earned shit but money that they can flash in your face and call you broke, and you have more respect for them. But when it comes to young boys and shit that need to figure out the world, we saying, oh, you have to earn your respect. Psychologically, what do you think that does to a child? Especially psychologically, what do you think that does to a child who's predisposed to need that? Respect is to men what love is to women. We default love to our girls. Like that is what it is. We default love to our girls. But our boys have to earn respect from the womb. You have to earn respect as a man from the womb. Now I get it. The boys ain't men. They're going to eventually grow up into men and they have to earn their respect the whole time. What do you think that's going to do to them over time? What would that do to you if the one thing that you thrive on, you had to earn continually every day? Every day. It's not defaulted to you. You have to earn it every single day. Now, tying it deeper, your perception of this very thing that you know that you need, that you have to earn every single day, is tainted because we live in a society where people assume that, not even assume, people have redefined respect as fear. And they have redefined respect as fear because they misunderstand fear. Fear is the lack of understanding. Simple. But we tie fear to being afraid of somebody, afraid of something. So now we make respect being, this person is respected if everybody's afraid, if they can make anybody afraid. And I know people say, we have not done that. Yes, you have. And then the imagery that you portray, that you allow a child to see, that gains respect, shows them exactly what this afraidness looks like. what it is to actually be afraid of them. And it gets crazy because all this time they've been looking for respect and they were supposed to get it defaulted to them and they had to earn it. But they had to earn the respect based off of their interpretation that respect is fear. And not even understanding the definition of fear for real. But now they know that in order to be respected, in order for me to be respected, you have to be afraid of me. Why? Because in my household, in my community, in the entertainment that I consume, the people that I respected, everybody's afraid of them. And if everybody's afraid of the people that they respect, what do you think I have to earn? But before we dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram at no, that's the wrong one. That one's dubbed. See, man, this shit. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Seeing the Light. Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of the podcast. Not the episode, but the podcast itself. Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And you know the vibes. That's that for this and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into YNs. What's the subtitle for this one? What can I do? We're going to dive into YNs. When we come back, we're going to dive into YNs, the earners of respect. And don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So For Real series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. Ow. And without further ado, let me go ahead and get started into this shit. So, yeah, picking up from where I was leaving off, as somebody who grew up in an area where everybody who was respected, people were scared of, I can understand why this is a reality right now. You feel what I'm saying? People who have never been in a situation or a state of survival where your life constantly depends on, certain things. And in order to be respected, first off, before I even go down that rabbit hole, let me y'all know how we start. Let me start this off with the definition. Respect is to basically show something that it is important. To respect something is to show that it has importance. I have to earn the fact as a human being, especially a little black boy. I have to earn the fact that I'm supposed to be viewed as important. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Now, as I watch, because respect is to men what love is to women, as a black boy, as I watch what is supposed to be respected in our community that looks like me, I'm going to get the athlete, I'm going to get the comedian, I'm going to get the actor, I'm going to get the entertainer of some sort. But it's not just any entertainer. It has to be the entertainer that everybody's willing to go spend their money on. Everybody's willing to go do certain things with. These imageries and these ideations are what I realize gains respect. Now, granted, how do I get that? Now, I get it. In our community, we talk shit. Well, doctors and lawyers, as somebody who's gone to med school, as somebody who's gone to higher academia and you do not get respected until after you complete the shit. Now, mind you, you know how long it takes you to actually get those degrees and shit and all of this shit? And now they're like, why do when black men get successful, why do black men get successful and then they want to start dating other races? Then when they start, cuz as a black man, when your respect is earned and it's not given to you until you are successful and completed at something beyond some basic ass years, you're gonna see who respected you along the way. Your own people don't even look at you until you actually done it. Like they will watch you work, they will watch it, and they still won't give you that respect that you're supposed to have. Again, show that you have some kind of importance. It goes back to the quote: "A child not embraced by the village will burn the village down just to feel its warmth." Right? We talk about, black men are respected. Black men, we respect the doctor. Yeah, but you have to get to that point. Respect is earned, not given for us. It's for everybody. But now specifically, we're speaking on the black boys. And now they grow up into wilding out into the young niggas and shit like that. And they like, yo, I fucked up. Now you get the old heads that were the young niggas at one point in time, and they like, I fucked up my life wilding out. You didn't fuck up your life wilding out. You fucked up your life looking for respect that you had to earn. And you was too young to get it anywhere else. You feel me? You couldn't get your first job because, you need experience to get a job. But then it's like when you starting to get a job as a teenager, it's a lot of hoops and hurdles you got to go through. I get it. I was fortunate enough to get my first job at 16 years old. You feel what I'm saying? However, a lot of my friends had already started selling drugs before 16 years old because they couldn't get a job. Now, mind you, when I tell that I had got my first job when I was 16, I had been applying at the same place since I was 13 years old. I'm just putting that into perspective. We're going to go down the line with that. But I'm just putting that into perspective. I was applying at a certain job since I was 13 years old, and I didn't get hired on that job until I was 16. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? There's a preconceived notion that, again, your respect has to be earned. I'm not important enough for certain things, right? When you are in this space where this is how your life has to be. Now, mind you, the entertainment industry, everything already shows you that you don't get respect. Everything is you got delayed gratification, basically, when you're going to be respected for real, for real. But then you have to lose your essence in order to get that respect in some way, shape, or form. You feel what I'm saying? In order to get that respect in some way, shape, or form. Now, what it now translates into is that as I'm developing, I need to figure out what I got to do to be respected right now. This goes into So For Real 1 where I say what? You either got to have hands or you got to have hoes. One of the two. We learn that early. When we don't have jobs, when we ain't getting money, when we don't have, we learn that that's those 2 points right there, they're going to get us some respect. So either we're going to be violent or we're going to be sexual. Because we get respected. Now, that goes into, if you listen to an episode I got a while back on breeders. Some of us are still using the respect that we once had as we were enslaved people on breeding farms. Some of that shit never stopped. Mandingo warriors and those on the breeding farm, some of that shit never stopped. We get so wrapped up, and it was so fucked up. We get wrapped up in the atrocities of slavery from being whipped and shit and all of that. We don't realize what type of slavery we were really under. They teach us in their systems to talk about about cotton and picking cotton. That's one of the things, we was picking cotton sun up to sundown. Getting beat. Nobody. I don't know if it's just a taboo subject or it's just really hard to talk about. But not many people want to talk about being on the breeding farm. Where ideations like the term motherfucker came about because you was probably fucking somebody's mother. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody wants to talk about this psychology that is plaguing our people because these things we saw and kept seeing and kept seeing. Now this goes back into what I was talking about religion and masculinity and how you have to use that to break down a person in order to start to attack the culture correctly. But now when we move that back in, these boys have seen this for 400 years. So now when we fast forward and we look at the way our entertainment is, we wonder why they allow our sex to sell. We wonder why what they promote when it comes to our entertainment is sex and violence. That's no accident. That's how they see us. That's how they will approve that they will see us. But even deeper, that's how we will respect our people. So much so that's how we respect our boys. You feel me? You've never heard the concept of a fast ass little boy? Never. Never. It makes no sense. So much so, a lot of what our premise is, a lot of what our our setups are for getting us respect is, like I said, having hands and having hoes, pretty boys and shit. Now, the motherfuckers you didn't want to be overly violent, because you didn't. I don't want you to be violent, and I can't teach you how to channel your violence by putting you in sports or no shit like that. So I'm gonna encourage you not to be violent, but I'm not gonna encourage you to be a ladies' man. I'm not gonna not encourage you to be the pretty boy. I'm not gonna encourage you to not be the handsome motherfucker. And we wonder why all these motherfuckers is, as they call it, zesty and shit. What are you respecting, my nigga? We've been getting respect for this since we was kids. Since we was little boys. This is what we found got respect. Why? Because we watched you do it. We watched you support it. We watched you as adults show us what what men get respect for when they're black. And we got to grow up and do it. So we going to emulate it. So we transition into either being violent, being promiscuous, or being funny, some way, shape, or form. That's what gets us respected. Now, depending on how you express those things, it changes your reality. But that's what starts the respect that we have to earn. Now, if you an ugly little boy, you feel me? Growing up, knowing that you are black, by default, your mind is already perceived. You have to grow into that particular confidence. I don't give a fuck what you say. I talk my shit. I talk my shit about, being a man in my teenage years, whatever the case may be. I had to get over that. I had to get over a huge phase when I was young. You feel me? A huge phase when I was young. And this is not a episode of sympathy and crying and shit. I'm speaking on our culture. You feel me? We already programmed the ugly little black boy. That boy, like, you're going to hear those things. You're going to see those things. So if you're not attracted, the ladies' man shit is out. The having hoes, that's out. There's almost a direct correlation, and I'm not saying it to shit on our people. I have to use this to be dramatic sometimes. The most violent motherfuckers be the most ugliest motherfuckers. They ain't got shit to lose. You hear motherfuckers say that. But then some of the more attractive ones will say, I'm not wasting my time with this shit. I'm bigger than this. I'm bigger than that. There's a correlation with shit like this, bro, that nobody pays attention to, but these are the things that give respect. These are the things that the boys start to see early is what gets respected. Because who am I looking for respect from? Women, the girls. So I'm going to have hands and I'm going to have hoes because I got to show that I can protect her and I got to be handsome. If you ain't handsome, you could be funny, but that's usually not the case because you got to get to that attraction first. You know what I'm saying? You got to get through that initial attraction first. And we've already been wired to go for a certain thing. But even that, we're wired to be respected for a certain thing. So much so that we have already been taught what women they will respect us for having. Just let it breathe. We be thinking colorism runs deep because it now ties into a lot of the respect that men are going to receive. So there's a paradox. I ain't gonna say parallelism, but there's a paradox a little bit where women say we get the augmentations on our bodies for y'all. No, you don't. You get them for yourself. But it's a reason why I said it's a paradox because you can't define. It's like a yin and yang thing. They go hand in hand. The augmentations go in conjunction with the fact that I'm not going to be respected unless I get a woman like this. So when I have to get certain respect, like I'm only going to chase this particular type of woman. And if I can bag her, if I can get her, I get my respect. So now the women that like me are going to augment themselves to look like the women that I have to chase to be respected for. I'm going to say it throughout this duration of this episode. But black women are not respected. Black women are not protected because black boys are not respected. I'm showing you the inception. I'm going to keep saying that shit throughout the duration of this episode. Black women are not protected because black boys are not respected. And I don't know, what does this have to do with the augmentation? Everything. Because I don't even have enough, because I as a man I have not been respected enough to now protect the woman in her security of her physical being. You know how many women have contoured I used to love SZA, bro. I know this is a tangent, but I used to love SZA. Like, I fell in love with SZA in 2015 when I heard her on The Need to Know by Wale. Once I heard her voice on that, I was like, damn. And then I heard her on this song. It's a song with Dram that I'll Take Care of You, something like that. I was like, damn, bro. Like, I'm a sucker for women who can sing. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because my mom and my sister could sing, and they used to sing to me as a kid. But I'm a sucker for women who can sing. But as time progressed, like, just she came, when she popped back out with her most recent album and shit. One of her most recent albums, it was like she had a BBL, nose is like the rhinoplasty and shit like that. It's like, why are those things necessary for our people? Why do we feel that they're necessary for our people? So now when our people become successful and they get the rhinoplasties and shit like that, they get respected. You don't have that big ass nose anymore. That big ass nigga nose. This fits perfect because I think not too long ago I just had an episode about, nigga and black hair and not like all of that shit. It goes into this. It goes into this. So now, as boys, and I know I was talking about SZA, but this is the point that I'm making with the connection to how all of this works. Because she says, I got it from me. And I don't deny that she didn't. But at the same time, there's an exception that comes in where the world has conditioned it and programmed it to where that's not the case for everybody. There's more women saying that, this is what y'all like. And it's gotten to the point where women are saying, oh, no, we got this for ourselves. No, you got that to receive the attention that you wanted from men. Because on the same paradox of respect is to men what love, respect is to men what love is to women. Women are looking for the love and the attention from the boys, from the men. You know what I'm saying? They want to feel beautiful. They want to be told that they're beautiful. They want to be lusted over and shit like that. But now it's transitioned into lust, but that's something totally different. But all of that comes from the development of how this shit started. So the black woman, like I said, is not protected and now is in the space where I have to completely augment my body. And I've convinced myself that is what I really want. But all I really want is attention. Now they say, that's not the case. Y'all got to stop thinking that everything's for y'all. We're not doing it for y'all. You're doing it to flaunt, to show off, to get your likes or whatever the case may be. Even if it's for your OnlyFans. Who's paying for your OnlyFans? Not the women. Because the very women because if you're doing it for yourself, then you would not have a reason to broadcast it and showcase it. Now, if you're doing it for the women, you're doing it to stun on bitches. You feel me? You're doing it to stun on bitches. And women often get jealous over each other's bodies. Some of them there's a couple of them that are, oh girl, you ate, you did all of that other shit, but a lot of them are still jealous still. And there's a subtle jealousy that they won't really truly express, but it ties into that. And that subtle jealousy is why there's so many women that look the exact fucking same. They'll get the surgery to look the exact fucking same. You know what I'm saying? And that ties into the whole thing over this, because now we have to go back. The black boy is not respected. And I was like, how does that even? Cause if I only get respect as a boy for having hands and having hoes, I'm gonna go for what's attractive. We talking about women right now who have already been programmed from girls that I have to look like this for the boys to like me. Because the boys are showing I'm only going to get respected if I get the girl that looks like this. So now when you telling me this bullshit, now I have to change my reality. And this is one of the things that the situation with Doechii that everybody was mad at. But again, horn tutor, beep, beep. I have an ability to articulate things that a lot of people can't. So the reason that everybody's up in arms or was up in arms that Doechii said, my red flag is a heterosexual straight man. Wow. Wow. Because a lot of people have not matured, we got to realize the average adult in America reads at a 6th grade level, bro. So you have to realize that. Put that in perspective. That means they think like a 12-year-old. They have the comprehension of a 12-year-old. Always remember that when you dealing with people, that the average person may be only comprehending at a 12-year-old level, as like a 12-year-old. So when these men hear that, they be thinking, see, and the women like, y'all act like y'all had a chance. She not even talking about y'all. And like everybody wants to defend it or whatever the case may be. Nobody cares about how the little black boy is being affected by this. Doechii is a phenomenal rapper. Doechii is, I ain't gonna say Doechii. I don't really listen to her, so I don't really know how to say her name yet. And she's new. Some say she's an industry plant. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. I don't care. I'm speaking in this context. She's a beautiful woman. She's dark skinned. She's black. She's a phenomenal rapper. She's somebody that the boys would say, that is gonna be my crush. If I was a little boy, I'd hang her picture on my wall. For context of what I'm talking about. If you don't know nothing about hanging pictures on the wall, then you might not need to be listening to this motherfucker podcast, because you damn sure ain't old enough. But hanging pictures on the wall, like I would go, if she was in a Word Up magazine, every time she was in a Word Up magazine, I will put her on my wall. If I was a young boy, if I was a little boy. That's the context I want you to understand this from. So when this woman says that it's a red flag if you are a straight heterosexual man, what does that do for me as the young boy? Because now what I'm seeing as your red flag, and I know that red flags people that are red flags, they don't get respect. But as a boy, respect is to men what love is to women. As a boy, I have to earn my respect. So if I want to be respected by my crush, what does that mean I have to be as a man? I can't be straight and I can't be heterosexual. Does the kid know that he doesn't have he knows he don't know that he ain't got he know that it's crushed. It's like, bro, you ain't even got a chance with her. The mind of a child doesn't have that limit. I knew I didn't have motherfucking I knew I didn't have a chance with Chili from TLC. But Chili was one of the quintessential pieces of why I love black women the way that I love them now. You feel me? Yes, I will. I have the spectrum of black women, but when it comes to my preference and my attraction, I will rock with any black woman. But it's just something about the brown skinned black woman that has a hold on me, like brown or dark skinned black woman, and it's because of Chili. And the reason why is because of Chili, because I seen the music video for Red Light Special when I was 5 years old. 4 or 5 years old. I shouldn't have been watching that video. But I fell in love with that image of a woman right there. That was the moment. That was the moment. And then, of course, Janet Jackson and but as a boy, I didn't know that they were out of my league. I just know that these are the type of guys that they like. So this is the type of men that they will respect. And respect is to men what loves to women. For the same reason, how when women be like, oh yeah, when we hear the song, bitches, this, and that, third, and you still dancing to whatever the case may be, you now see that this particular celebrity, this particular rapper says that this is what they like and you conform to it. People see all day long that women and girls are easily influenced by the shit, but don't understand that boys can be and are just as much. You know why? Because there's no respect there. You respect the girls enough to pay attention to the fact that you need to step in to make sure the music isn't corrupting them in that way. But the boys, it's like, you'll figure it out because your respect has to be gained. So now, I was using that Doechii example because it's like they're not articulating that well. It's not the men, it's not the adult men that are really mad that it's like, nah, there's an impressionable boy right now that is admiring the fuck out of Doechii. This boy may not be great. This boy may not be gay. This boy, his mind isn't even conceptualized on that shit. But now that you have said that shit, he now feels like he has to do that in order to get. People don't watch the Boondocks, bro. People don't watch the Boondocks. That the Gangstalicious thing with like you guys only got the laugh out of the shit and didn't get the fucking message. It was listed. It was right there in your face. The impact and the power that these celebrities have over our children. Riley's number one thing, and I don't think people pay attention to it a lot because, you know, Riley, yeah, I'm a real nigga, blah, blah, blah. Riley's number one thing was getting respect. Riley was doing whatever pop culture was telling him gets respect as a black boy. Phew, completely went over a lot of motherfuckers' head because it was hilarious. You niggas gay. Pause. Pause again. To the Gangstalicious episode come in. He has the man bag. He has a skirt going on. He's wearing like all of that shit happened. Now, when I was in the 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, we had an era where we were wearing pink. I didn't wear pink. My mama would not let me wear that shit, bro. I'm not saying I wanted to wear it, but there was something in me that just didn't want to do it. I'm like, I'm not copying y'all niggas, bro. And it just so happened that the year before that, it was when my big homie, I always tell the story about it. He was like, the best way to fit in is to stand out. By the 8th grade, by the end of 7th grade, 8th grade, that's when, you know, Cameron was wearing pink and all of this shit. Niggas was like, yo, that nigga, he wearing pink, he made it look good though. Like, they're justifying the shit because it's like, this person is respected, so you cannot talk against him. Now, what he's respected for, I'm gonna do because he's already gotten the respect and I'm gonna get it too. These are impressionable ass kids, bro. We was 13, 11, 13, 11, 12, and 13 years old. Wearing pink. Because a motherfucker said, wear pink. Nah, Cameron won't wearing pink like that. Like, he had the U.S. flag in the pink with the jacket. This shit was hot. You're justifying it because this is how respect works. This is how he has earned his respect so he can do the shit that he wants to do. You feel what I'm saying? And you justify the shit. But now, for the motherfuckers that justify it, and this is one of the things that we have going on right now, it's like, the motherfucker who doesn't value the respect that you're giving this entity for what he did, I'm like, yo, you a dick rider, bro. So again, you can't even, like, there's that fine line too. When you find the things that you enjoy, that are pleasurable to you, excuse me, when you find the things that you enjoy that are pleasurable to you, that you want to be respected for, and you find somebody and you always like, you get called a dick rider for it. You get called a dick rider for it. You feel me? So it's just a certain way in which you have to speak about it, that you're not a dick rider, but you know what I'm saying? It's all the same shit. You get called a dick rider when you're pointing out that you respect somebody. Because now respect is earned and not given. If I'm calling you a dick rider, it's because I don't appreciate the respect that you've given him. And I don't think that person has earned that respect in my eyes. You feel me? It's a lot of layers that's got to go into the psychology of what it is when we developing as little boys and shit. But we not respected. But now, again, we're going to go towards what has to be respected. So tying that back in, I know I kind of went around about, but all of that shit set the tone with the that was definitely an exception, going from the Cameron to the Riley to the Gangstalicious to the Doechii thing. But look at that programming. Because I said, you either going to have hands or have hoes. As a boy, that's how you get your respect. You're either going to have hands or have hoes. I was fortunate enough to have both. I was fortunate to have both, but I lean more towards the hoe side. I didn't like fighting. But my brother let me know that I can't be no bitch out here. I'll never forget the shit. I was 5 years old. This shit fucked me up. Not on no like crazy shit, like, but at the time it's like I was 5 years old. He like, yeah, I'm gonna rough you up. Because he knew I was getting bullied. I think he knew. I didn't say anything. But I only got bullied like one day. But it still was bullying. But anyway, he's like, I'm going to rough you up. So he's, taking me in the shade. He's like, yo, basically, he taking me in the shade and he started hitting me and shit. Like, I'm going to toughen you up. You got to get tough, bro. You can't be out here. Little did he know, motherfucker, like, I don't want to be crazy. I don't want to be violent. I don't want to be this. I don't like it. I don't. To this day, I still don't like being violent. I don't. But I am violent. It's I didn't realize how much it was wired in my DNA, how much it was wired in my blood. Because now, as I'm developing my respect, as I'm a black boy that's getting respect, I'm a nerd. We not supposed to be violent. We not supposed to be tough. We supposed to be timid and soft. I'm in a crossroads because I'm a very violent kid. I just protected well. Like a lot of people, I will snap on your ass. My siblings, it's hilarious as hell. When I was young, they used to fuck with me purposely just to make me do this because they knew I didn't really know this. I have a high threshold before I actually snap. You feel me? And they would test it to see where they can go. And as soon as I start tapping my foot, that's when they know to stop. I didn't when I started paying attention to it was when I one day they would either roasting me or doing something, but it's like I kind of blanked out. I kind of just I hear them, but it's just going one in and out the other. And then my foot started tapping, my leg started tapping. My sister was like, all right, that's enough. He mad. Like he mad for real. And I like they actually paid attention to that. And I don't know if they did it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? If they were, actively doing it to fuck with me, or if it was just, they because they did it so much, they started to be aware of it. But the point of it was once I got there, I got there. So the point that I was saying was I never wanted to be the violent motherfucker. So now the options are to have hands and have hoes. I'm gonna go for the hoes, bro, because I don't want to be violent. But I gotta glow up too. I gotta glow up too. Like I also gotta glow up too, and I gotta have that confidence. So now, when you the nerd that don't nobody, again, I'm fortunate enough not to have to suffer from the nerd shit because I had something that like when I was a baby, like going in church and shit, like all the girls, all the women wanted to hold me. They loved me. So my ego was already there. I knew I was a cute kid. I knew I was a cute kid. You didn't you couldn't convince me otherwise. I got it all the time. You feel what I'm saying? I got it all the time. So I knew I was gonna have hoes. Without knowing I was gonna have hoes, there was gonna be the path of me developing my respect by having hoes. I remember when I was 12 years old, my best friend mama looked me in my face and she was like, "You got some pretty eyes. You gonna break a lot of hearts." Don't tell me that. I didn't know I was not supposed to not break hearts. But she just said this is what it was. So I internalized that shit. Cause that's what all the women noticed about me first. Oh, your eyes, your eyelashes so beautiful. I could look into your eyes all day. Huh? Yeah. I bet you can. But I'm gonna get your ass. But I also had to have that edge. Because all the women wanted the bad boy. A lot of motherfuckers didn't know that I was like that. Until, you know what I'm saying? Like, until some shit popped off. Then it's like, yo, I remember, I'd never forget. I was in like the third grade, bro. Second to third. No, what was it? Or was it the fourth? Cause this was before we moved to North Carolina. Cause I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get caught. But it was definitely fourth grade. Cause I remember the teacher's name. Her name was Miss Dunn. And this was like, it had to be at the beginning of the year. Or was it the third grade? I'm gonna get back to the motherfucking story, but I'm trying to picture because I was living in California and I'm trying to picture where my classroom was, and that would tell me what grade I was in. It was definitely fourth grade because I remember, because by fourth grade we think we big because technically we're juniors. You feel me? We're elementary school juniors, so nigga, we stomping the yard, bro. Like the fuck, it's us and then it's the fifth graders, nigga. So it's like I was in fourth grade because I remember the place I was at. So there's this dude. Uh, he was very violent. Like he was very, very like he was volatile. I ain't gonna say he was violent. He was just volatile. And like when he got mad, he got mad. And I was like, we was playing basketball or something, and he said something. I said, you better not come over here with that. And he bucked anyway because we was in the same class, but I'm the nerdy guy. I'm the funny one that's like talking about Pokemon and shit. Like I was like that was me, but nobody knew my backside. Nobody knew I would go to your ass. Like I was taught to go to your ass. When I was young, my mama always told me never. She said never start the fight, but if they bring it to you, beat the snot out of them. Her words were beat the snot out of them. So I had to fight people till I seen them cry. Now, mind you, it's not me. It's not like I had to, but as a kid, I'm being wired to understand. Okay, if I gotta beat you, I gotta beat the snot out of you. So I gotta see tears. That means I gotta hit you hard, and I gotta keep hitting you till I make you cry. You feel me? So this particular kid, I ended up, fading him and shit. And then he's crying or whatever the case may be. But then it's like I remember, fast forward, because we're in the same class, we gotta squash the beef, man. That's what I love about being a kid, bro. We could fight, and then the next day we cool again. We forget the shit. We don't hold the grudges long. So I remember one day we were just talking about fighting. One day he was like, "Yo," he said, "Nigga," he said, "Man, I know Racine could fight because he beat me up." And it was like, I forgot how we came in this conversation. I was like, hmm, but there was a respect there. From that point forward, he was my friend. I know how you like how I brought this back to the episode. From that point forward, he was my friend until I moved to North Carolina. When we was in the same class, he was my friend. You feel what I'm saying? Speaking of, I had another friend, and this is where it starts to get into the respect aspect. I don't know if my family did this intentionally. I don't know, but it kind of deterred me from one of my good friends. We was in the same class for like, shit. By the time I was in the fourth grade, it's like, I think because he was in my second grade class. He was in my third. No, we was in there only for 2 years because he was in my third grade class and my fourth grade class. But this was my best friend before I left North Carolina. This was one of my best friends. He was black, and when my people first met him, like we lived on different parts of the streets or whatever the case may be. When my people first met him, they called him Car Stealing Johnny. I never forget that shit. It wasn't on no traumatizing shit to me, but it just made me. Why y'all call him? He don't steal cars. Like we're in the same class. At the time, I was in what they were calling GATE classes. Now, GATE, the gifted and academically something. Did you know these motherfuckers was testing us for psychic abilities in these classes? I didn't even know that shit. But the fact that it was so many of us in that mall, I was like, yo, what are they looking for? But we was on a whole different level. So, but anyway, I'll talk about that a whole nother day. Because it's research that I got to put out with that one. And that would take this episode up. But anyway, they would call my man's Car Stealing Johnny. I'm like, this is my best friend. Like we've been friends since the third grade, like third and fourth grade. Like we in the same classes. Like we play kickball together all the time. Like this is my best friend. So much so that I remember I was trading Pokemon cards one day, and he knew a trick that I didn't know. So I traded this dude for a Jolteon or some shit. I'd never forget this because I brought it to him. I was like, yo, look what I just got. He held that shit up to the sky and said, it's fake. You can see through it. I said, how you know? He said, anytime you get Pokemon cards, you're not supposed to be able to see through them. This fake. I went back and was like, yo, give my cards back, bro. And I, did a trade back. But that was my friend. That was my friend. But the association that people had already planted within me was that he stole cars. Mind you, I'm like, by fourth grade, I'm 8 or 9. So between that third and fourth, like, they referred to him as Car Stealing Johnny. They said, because he looked bad. How does he look bad? That's when I started to see that there's a certain stigma and a certain perception that comes with being a black boy that we have nothing to do with. Would Johnny fight? Yes, he had my back. Johnny was my best friend. You feel what I'm saying? Best fucking friend. I don't know what he's grown up to now. We was 8 and 9 years old at the time. But at the time, it's like, nigga, we was talking about Small Soldiers. Because that movie had just came out and they had the book and shit. We was talking about Small Soldiers. Motherfucking, it was simple shit. We weren't talking about stealing cars. We weren't talking about doing nothing crazy. I fought more in school than he did. At least that scene. You feel me? But but the point that I was making was that when he first came to my house to kick it and shit, it's like, yo, he looked bad. What do you mean he looked bad? Like, this is my best friend. Like, you feel me? So again, respect is to men what love is to women. I'm already looking at y'all show me that he's bad. I know that bad people don't get respected. You feel me? I know that bad people don't get respected. So does that change the way in which I now have to interact with them? You feel me? And then it made me wonder, like, I don't want to be bad, but Johnny's my friend. And me and Johnny just alike. So I gotta tone down what it is, cause you feel me? If I talk about that a whole nother day, I can't go, too deep into that part about, car stealing Johnny. Cause it's ironic as fuck that they you know what I'm saying? Like, but this is something that I seen growing up. Now mind you, Johnny was like a slightly darker. He was about my complexion, just a little bit darker. You feel me? It ain't like they could say we dressed a certain way because we all went to school with uniforms. The only thing that made us stand out was our shoes, and we either we had Nikes, Adidas, or Jordans. So it's like it's not much that we could really do to you know what I'm saying, to look a certain way. But it's just this person looks bad. Cause I will say this: Johnny was active, just like me. Johnny was creative, just like me. Johnny was masculine, just like me. Our analysis and deconstructing was on point. That's what put us in those classes. That's what made us highly intelligent. We were creative. We were like, and it's like, if he's bad and me and him are just alike as best friends, what does that make me? Sometimes the shit is not even, it doesn't even have to be direct for you to internalize it. Now, again, I'm applying this on a broader scale. We're going to get to the young niggas and shit, but I'm showing you how young niggas is even created in the first place. Everybody ain't violent. Everybody ain't violent, but violence gets respect. And I got on that and I used that with my homeboy Johnny and shit, because it's like, for you to label that boy as a car thief without even knowing him, just from looking at him, he looked like he steal. Wow. Why is our culture like that? Why is our culture like that when it comes to our boys? I use that as an example because I paint the picture, because so many of us grow up under this perspective that we already bad because of what somebody else looked at us and saw. I don't know. When we moved from California, I was 9 years old, so I don't know Johnny's life or anything outside of that. But I do know that when it was all said and done, I looked at it from the bigger picture where it's like, damn, the same thing that happened with them identifying, Johnny like that, motherfuckers identify me like that as a hoe. There was a lot of women who told me, "Oh, you gonna be a problem when you get older." I didn't know what they were saying to me. I didn't even know that they was being predatory creeps. You know why it don't matter like that? Is because I was a boy. I was a boy. It ain't no different than seeing the little girls grow up and say, "Oh, she gonna be a problem when she get older." That's creepy and scary. But when a woman says, "Oh, he gonna be a heartbreaker when he get older," same shit. And a lot of women that said it, I could have fucked them when I started getting older. Because once I hit 15 and 16 and 17 and shit, it's like, you done grew up. You hear it too, but you don't say shit. You don't care. You know why you don't care? Because that's what boys are supposed to do. I'm getting respected now. All you keep hearing is get into the markets. But do you trade or do you invest? Should you do stocks, Forex, crypto, or NFTs? My personal answer is not a single one if you don't know how to read a chart. Without knowing how to read a chart, you end up giving all your money to those who do. Do you know what a candle is? Do you know the pocket of activity? Do you know the difference between market direction and market control? If you answer no at least once, you might want to learn how to read a chart first. Learning how to read a chart will let you know if you should trade or invest, and if you should do stocks, Forex, crypto, and or NFTs. It will also let you know if this is even for you or not. So visit IamJustSeen.com to learn how to read charts with my Mastering the Market course, ebooks, and webinars today. The world is changing. The question is, will you adapt with it? It's different. I'm getting respected now. Yo, nigga, you smash such and such mama? Yeah, nigga. Like, the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got some hair from something? Yes, nigga, I did. Nigga, now my homies is dabbing me up. Motherfuckers that don't even know me is dabbing me up. When I went to college and shit, niggas was like, yo, I'm all, from high school into college and shit until I settled down and got a girlfriend. All the niggas wanted to rock with me because it's like, yo, girls are always gonna be around you. Cause nigga, I get hoes. That's how I got respect. Now, mind you, I didn't get respect for being intelligent. I didn't get respect for nothing but getting hoes. Now, in getting hoes, I had to showcase that side to attract them. But now, when I'm looking at it from the perspective of how the boys now have to see it as well, growing up, I have to go this route. Niggas will want to try you just because it's like I have to keep my respect. And I used to have homies that used to tell me, one of my like when they first met me, they was like, "Yo, I know you can fight." How you know? Or when people would just ask, like, they would test. Somebody would want to fight me, but he wouldn't want to come out and say it. But it's like, yo, test the waters for me and see. They be like, yo, you think you could be such and such? I don't know. I never seen him fight. That was my response to everything. If you try to instigate some shit and be like, yo, you think you could be? My ego never got involved where I was like, hell yeah, I fought that nigga up. It was like, no, I never seen him fight. Now, if I seen how his hands moved and I seen how he got down, I can gauge if I could whoop his ass. But I'm still, nigga, we got to fight. Anything can happen in any given day. You feel me? You could be the best fighter in the world and shit. You fuck around and slip, and I catch you one good time, and it looks like I beat your ass. And you can probably beat mine. But if I caught you when I caught you, you feel me? Now you fucked up. Your ego fucked up. Well, you gotta shoot the fair one again because like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Nah, nigga, you got faded. You caught the bad day. You feel what I'm saying? So at any given time, I was like, I never seen a fight, and I never fought him. If I've never fought you, I never seen you fight, then that's how it happened. There was a lot of dudes that ended up happening to me too in middle school. Cause in addition to that part, I was taking their girlfriends. The very niggas that was like, yo, I want to try this nigga, I took their girlfriends. A couple of them. I don't know if y'all remember. This is for the people that have been here for a minute. I told a story about this dude that I was beefing with in middle school for like all the years and shit. Like, I took 2 of his girlfriends. And I didn't take them. They just came on to me. They left him to fuck with me. And I was like, nigga, the fuck you want me to do? You feel me? But it was like, we gotta fight. We gotta duel. Like, your respect is different because you didn't have, like, now granted, he was one of the people that, we fight. We got hands out here. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I could fight too. I just like Pokemon. Like, I don't know if y'all know who my brother is, bro. I don't know if y'all know who my family is, bro. Like, they won't let me be no bitch. Like, y'all don't know that they won't let me be no bitch, but they not gonna let me be no bitch. You feel me? They just won't let me do it. And it's in my blood. It's in my bloodline to not be no bitch. So I could fight. I just don't like violence. Like, I just don't like violence. I prefer to be around women. I prefer to deal with women all the time. Because they've always told me I was cute anyway. Then I had braids. When can I braid your hair? Whenever you want to. You feel me? Like, I didn't fuck. Like, I knew how to flirt. Like, certain shit like that ties into it. But that's how I was respected. And because I was respected like that, motherfuckers felt like, okay, if I can't get that respect out of you and I got to take your respect another way, we got to fight. You don't want to fight. It's like I said, I wasn't violent, but I knew how to defend myself. And I was like, some of the people that when they found out who my brother and my family was, it was like, yo, yeah, I'm gonna leave you alone. Why? You were tough. Come on, let's do what we gonna do. Let's do what we gonna do. Please, let's do what we gonna do. Like, he's not gonna get involved. He's my brother. So much so, man. Look, I got punched in the eye one time. I was 12, and I was shadowboxing with this dude that was like 15. And, like, we weren't supposed to be making connects and shit. And I was, keeping my hand sharp. And he stuck me in the eye. Like, he ain't hit me hard. But when he stuck me, I was like, I'm about to go get my brother. I go down there. He's like, nah, Ray, chill. And it's like, nah. So I go down there. I'm trying to get my brother and shit. I know where he at. I said, yo, dude just punched me in my eye. Yo, he said, all right, go beat him up. Nigga, I came to get you. I'm not fighting that boy for you. Because my brother, let me see. Me and my brother are 7 years apart. So I think he was 19. So the dude was 15. So it's like, I'm not fighting no 15-year-old, bro. I didn't get it. Because it's like, nigga, you my brother, yo, fuck the age, bro. But he's like, yo, go beat his ass. What the fuck you want me to do? I said, you right. You right. I don't know what I'm tripping for. Like, you feel me? I ain't go back and fight him because it was like, we was playing. I got too close to the jab. It ain't like he blacked my shit or he dropped me and shit. He literally just, it was a glaze and shit. And I was like, my thing was, he's older than me. Then after that, I was like, yo, that's when it really like it was already one thing with size didn't matter to me, but then age, it was like, nigga, I don't give a fuck, nigga, I'll fight you no matter what your age is. Pull up. Because at this point, I'm starting to develop into I'm a man now, 12, 13 years old. Because a lot of us, that phrase that a lot of us don't think we're gonna make it at 21, that's a true sentiment. That's a true motherfucking sentiment, bro. And I don't think a lot of people take into consideration that it's tied to the things that we doing based off respect. It's shit scary. I ain't gonna hold you. Shit scary as fuck when you live in a life like that. But it's like, I gotta get my respect. I gotta be respected somehow. So this is how I'm gonna do it. Which is gonna turn me into what? One of them young niggas. Because what they don't know is that the young niggas is just motherfuckers trying to survive against the old niggas that's trying to assert respect that they never got. They like the young niggas wild. The young niggas wild. They ain't wild. They ain't wild. They doing the same shit we was doing. Trying to be respected. But it got progressively worse because over time, the shit that you gotta do to be respected gets worse. The fuck? Back in my day, you just had to have hands and have hoes. Now you gotta have a switch. Cause the niggas with hands don't know how to leave motherfuckers alone. I grew up in that transitional era to where it's like, yo, bro, I beat you up. Leave it the fuck alone. Nah, nigga, me and my niggas coming back. All right. All right. See you when you see you. You feel me? I never forget, like, I come from a certain area. I hang with a certain people. And so we experience life a different way. So I had a girlfriend when I was in college. And this was one of the things, this is when I had to really refine myself. You feel me? Because I was fresh out the hood when I went to college. Like, so much so that when I enrolled, one of my homies went to prison. One of my best friends, my closest homies, went to prison the year I went to college. And he did 2 years. I think it was like my sophomore year, he was getting out. And it was crazy. Because just as I was finishing up as Mr. Honors Hall, he was finishing up his bed. That shit was crazy. Because we had a conversation and shit. He's like, yo, what's up, Ray? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And we wrapping it up and shit. I'm like, he like, yo, man, that's what's up. Yo, I'm proud of you, man. It's like he was getting out while I was going in. I mean, he was going in while I was going in, but we went two different directions. Literally. Same here. He got arrested and went to prison while I got accepted and went to college. That's crazy. Crazy. I'm only using that to show, nigga, I wasn't that far removed from the shit when I went to college. I had to be toned down. Niggas had to tell me, yo, you can't just snap on people. Well, niggas can't be passive aggressive with me, bro. I'm actively aggressive. You feel what I'm saying? So I had a girlfriend and, you know, we broke up. And when we broke up, she posted on Facebook, yeah, I want my old thing back or whatever, blah, 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 blah. So some dude, I don't know this nigga, bro. I don't know this nigga at all. And he comments on her shit. Click, click, I want him dead. I'm doing a dramatic pause because that's how I looked at the comment. So I'm seeing if she's going to defend the shit. Like, I seen this old YouTube video where these two little kids were arguing on bike. He's like, you know me, man. You know me. So that's my thing. You know me. You know how I get down. Like, I've shared things with her that I've shared with nobody else. You know how I get down, and you know it's not a game with me. And you are entertaining this man. Mind you, we had quote unquote broke up or whatever the case may be. So I politely comment. I said, oh, so you want me dead, homie? Now, granted, because I understand why niggas do the Twitter shit and shit now, but it's like I wasn't, because Facebook and shit was new, and I didn't really use Facebook and shit like that. So, like with Facebook and shit, it was new, or whatever. But I knew how to say certain shit, so I was like, he commented, I said, oh, so I'm dead? Okay. I said, when you see me, make sure you leave me there. And she's like, and at this point we broke up. So it's like there's nothing you can do anymore. And she ended up calling me or whatever the case may be. Said he apologized. He didn't apologize to me. I ain't seen no apology. Oh, that's because I deleted the post. Okay, so now you're more worried about this man than you are actually what he said to me. Some disrespectful shit. Niggas think disrespect is a game and it's not. You feel what I'm saying? So the motherfucker say the shit, not realizing that I'm from that. So I'm from a place where if somebody say they're gonna leave you there, or somebody say they're gonna kill you, or somebody throw a threat like that, you gotta take it for real, bro. You can't play with that shit. I have big homies and shit who was actually beefing with niggas that's like, yo, you can't be at this particular area because I'm beefing with them niggas. I'm like, yo, what that got to do with me? You're connected to me. They will fuck with you to get to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in shit like I was dealing with shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? So I know when I see my homies and shit, like, yo, I gotta be strapped, bro, cause niggas said they gonna come through on me. You might want to get strapped too. Nigga, I don't want a gun, cause if I get one, I'm gonna shoot somebody. I knew that about me. I knew that about me. That's one reason why I would not get one. Like, if you've heard my album, it was the one I recorded like when I was like in 2012 or some shit. But I got this song called Blood Spill. And I say, he didn't claim gangster, but when it comes to survival, and the man runs into a strap with his rival, his instincts go primal. I'm trying to think about the part that I said. Something about first time I say the first time he blasted a gun, he fell in love with the power, but he knew his destiny and would not let the streets devour him. First time I shot a gun, I love that shit. You know how they be like, yo, when you get a pistol and shit, it make you feel bigger than you are? It do. It do. Especially when you've been looking for respect all your life. That shit make you feel big as fuck. And the first time I fired that shit, bro, it was like, oh, this is all this much power is coming from me. This is the power that's coming from me. It's not that it's coming from the gun. All I gotta do is pull the trigger, and this is the power that I got. I knew I didn't want a gun. I said, if I get a gun, I'm gonna kill somebody for real. I am going to kill somebody for real. I didn't care. I remember me and my homie, we was about to get jumped in school. Well, we weren't gonna get jumped because niggas weren't gonna do shit. They were gonna try to jump my homie, but then when I came through, it was like, nah, we ain't got a problem. You got a problem with me if you trying to jump my brother, bro. It ain't no ifs, ands, or maybes about that shit. So niggas talking about, nigga, why don't y'all come where we at? We was like, all right, nigga. And my homie's like, yo, if we come out there, like, we gotta bring them things with us. Cause it's like, yo, we got choppers and AKs for that and shit. Nigga, don't tell motherfuckers who really got choppers and AKs that are accessible that you have shit like that. So I told my homie, quit talking, we'll be out there. I ain't want to, like, I wasn't gonna do no shit like that, but I was like, and that's what always got me because it always fuck with me. Because I would be thinking, I just put myself in a situation, now I gotta follow through. Now I gotta follow through. Then by the end of by 4th period, my homie text me, yeah, nigga, them niggas pussy, bro. They talking about, nah, they don't want no beef. I bet they don't, because they knew we were serious. They knew we was serious. And then the sad part about it is like, when you in that space and you got to get your respect that way, you have to follow through. You don't have to. You can always be the bigger man, turn a cheek, walk away. No, you can't. Once I put my foot out there, I have to follow through. Ain't nobody talking about that part of the young niggas and shit. This niggas is crazy. These niggas is wild. And these niggas is looking for respect. And I've already put my respect on the line. I gotta go through with it. I was just happy and fortunate enough that the motherfucker said they ain't want no beef no more. I was like, damn. Because I was like, yo, if we go out there and he shoot the one with somebody, fair one and shit like that, I'm going to have the thing with me. And if I got it with me and he's shooting the fair one and somebody jump in, now I got to shoot him. I got to, because I've already said, yo, he is going to be a one-on-one. Anybody get in, I'm laying on flat. I already said that shit. You can't say no shit like that and not mean it. Even if you're not serious about it. Even if you don't really mean it. A lot of motherfuckers in their quest for respect, they have gone and done certain shit that has gotten them the respect. They got the respect off the shit, but they ain't really want to go through with that shit. But they had to go through because it's like, I gotta follow through. I've already said it. This is why I didn't get a gun. This is why I told myself I would not have a gun. Because I would really shoot somebody. And it won't be just shooting them. I would really kill a motherfucker. I would have then. Who knows what I do now. But my homie, we used to talk about the old stories. He's talking about, yo, I knew, he said, bro, go. I forgot what it was. Like maybe a couple Christmases ago. And, you know, we came down and shit. And we all at my mama's house. And he like, yo, you remember, he said, you was a violent mother. I said, I wasn't violent. Y'all the niggas the ones that was always getting in some shit and we was fighting. He said, nah, bro, I'm just talking about how methodical you was with the violence. He talking about, remember when you said if you get some liquid Band-Aid and dip your hands in it, you want to put fingerprints on a gun? Nigga, that's not violence. That's science, nigga. I'm not wearing gloves. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of liquid Band-Aid and everybody, all the gangsters and all the ex-gangsters and shit that was there was just like, why did I never think about that shit? Cause y'all niggas wasn't me. Because I thought about that shit, I said, I don't want to live the life y'all living. I went and majored in forensic biology. Where the fuck you think my mind was? It was to be a motherfucking criminal without getting caught. Who the only niggas that catch people? Forensic niggas and shit. I'm not saying I do no illegal shit now. I'm not saying I do no shit now. You feel me? Because I'm beyond that shit. But I'm just speaking on how it was when I was young. When I was still trying to get respect. So when I say that's what these young boys are looking for, they're like, nah, I respect. And I had women, I had people say, I respect my son. You don't respect all boys. Your son can't even, your son is often the ringleader of some shit that you're trying to keep him out of. I tell the story all the time because I can admit my wrongs and my upbringings and my faults. I had a homie. His uncle used to tell him that he couldn't hang, like it was the compadres. It was the three of us, the three amigos. And it's like, you can't hang with him, but you can hang with Ray. He like, huh? It's like, we all gonna go do the same shit. Like, Ray be the one that be getting us. I don't be getting us in some shit. I be the one getting us out of it. You feel me? But they be like, yo, he be the one, like, he just as fucked up. He just don't get caught. And they said, exactly. No matter what Ray do, we know he hang with y'all. But it's something that he do that we don't know his dirt. It's like how we know y'all dirt, but we don't know his, and he be with y'all. And now they was like, damn, that's wild. But I had already mastered certain shit earlier in life. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I looked at it a lot differently. But I had already understood that I had to get my respect. I already fought niggas. You feel me? I already had hoes. And that's all I can do at a young age before I can even get a job where I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now there's always that level up. What do I do to get the next one? What do I do to get the next level of respect? What do I do to get the next level of respect? Then at some point it dies because it starts to change. Because everything that you fought for to get respect is no longer respected. That's a fucked up feeling as a black man. Everything as a black boy you wanted me to have respect for, now you're disrespect. Now I don't have it. Now that I've worked my ass off to acquire these things, I'm no longer respected for them. I'm not respected if I got hoes at 30. I'm not respected if I'm still beating niggas up at 30. You feel me? I'm not respected after that no more. Like, so I worked all of this time to get respected because that was planted at such a young age. Oh no, if you go to school, get a good education, do all of these things, you'll get respected that way. No, I need respect now. It's my respect and I want it now. Damn it. That's what we're not teaching our boys, bro. We're not teaching. And if we are going to continue to express that, hey, y'all need to look at this from a bigger perspective and not focus on instant gratification. Nah, you want me to focus on it. And when we really look at it, it's not instant gratification for the boys. You know how many fights you got to go through to actually feel confident enough that you can fight? The niggas that got hands, nigga, we got dusted off. We got dusted off before we got these hands. These hands were earned. Niggas that got hoes, you ain't just getting into the game. You had to overcome rejection. You had to talk to them. You had to be able to have a good conversation on the phone. Nigga. You had to reach that point to where it became automatic. That shit was earned. That shit was earned, but that's all I was able to earn when I was a boy. And now all of the shit that I was respected for as a boy, I've never had a chance to actually mature into anything else. And now I get the respect, and I've had this respect for so long that this is how I live in my glory days. I live in my glory days. But I'm saying all of that because now we can get into why it's like, well, why are black women not protected? How do you see? If you didn't see it, as I told all of these stories, as I developed this shit from the black boy getting older, and it's like now I've gotten my respect. Now we're looking at it. The dudes that holler at the chick and cuss them out, they weren't getting the girls when they were boys. And they're not getting respected for it. Rejection is in how it's being perceived, especially when you like, you don't respect me. That's why you rejected me. You didn't reject me because of whatever the case. You rejected me because you don't respect me. And when I'm not respected, I'm disrespectful. Now I get it. I get it 100%. Black men should not be responding to black women like that. Black men should not be. Black boys have been responded to like that since they were black boys. If you want to change the way we respond to black women, you have to change the way that we are responded to as black boys. Because the black boy that is not respected grows up to be the disrespectful black man. And in between, y'all watching, in between the transitionary phase is what we're calling the young niggas. You have every opportunity to make this change. You have every opportunity to be a benefit in somebody's life. You have every opportunity to actually step into this space to say, we can intervene and start to give these boys something to be respected for, to feel respected for, other than tyranny. Because on the quest to having hands and having hoes, if I ain't got hoes, like, not on the funny shit. Because you look at the young niggas that are actually terrorizing shit, that are fucking shit up, that are the quote unquote real young niggas, they wear dreads with the dreads in their face. You know why? Because they don't have a positive self-image about themselves. We don't want to talk about that part. That leads them to not even getting hoes. They don't have a positive self-image. So where are they gonna do? They're gonna be violent. They're going to be respected. They're going to be respected. Now, all their life, they've tied respect to being feared. And all their life, they never understood that being fearful and being afraid are two totally different things. And that's where all of this ties in. So in my quest to be respected, I gotta make motherfuckers afraid of me. Because when motherfuckers are afraid of me, they respect me. No. Imagine what psychology that has to actually do to break down the definitions. My perception that I am now important to somebody because they're afraid of me. It's easy to cuss a bitch out when she don't give you the number. Because I've already perceived that I gain respect by making motherfuckers afraid of me. I've been perceiving respect like this since I was a kid. That you respect me when I make you afraid of me. So when I'm asking you for your number and you don't give me your motherfucking number and I'm about to cuss you out, bitch, you crazy, you better give me this motherfucking number. You'll respect me when you are afraid of me. Because all my life, I've learned that I respect what I'm afraid of. Because I don't even know what respect really is. Because nobody has ever shown me that respect is valued importance. No, motherfuckers have shown me that respect is fear. You're going to fear me. And they're not even telling me what fear really is, but I know that I got this, I'm afraid of this shit. And that's what respect is. So now when they say, why are black women not respected or not protected? Because why am I going to protect you? Why am I going to protect you when I have to make you respect me by making you afraid of me. I gotta make you afraid of me. And this is all both ends of the spectrum. It ain't just for the motherfuckers that got hands, it's the motherfuckers that got hoes too. They be like, yo, the black men are violent or whatever the case may be. And then the black men who got the hoes are the womanizers. We gonna hurt you. We're designed to hurt you, either physically or emotionally. But you're gonna respect me because I'm gonna make you afraid of me. So much so, physically, I'm gonna make you afraid of all of us. Because of how I had to get my respect as a boy. Now that I'm a man, I'm going to make you respect all of us. I still have not even differentiated between the fact that I have now observed and pushed respect to be me making something afraid of me. So it doesn't matter which medium I'm getting this respect. Now we all fuck boys, and women are afraid to be with us. We get respect though. Because we love a motherfucker that got hoes. We love a motherfucker that got hoes. Even women. Because that shows me he got charisma. That shows me he can talk to women. He knows how to treat a woman. He knows how. Like, that's crazy. Women be like, don't treat us all the same, but you need to learn how to treat a lady. Only way we going to learn how to treat a lady is by fucking with the ladies. I got to be a hoe. I gotta have hoes. I gotta be in the space where I'm always fucking with the women to know how women need to be fucked with. And I know when I tell my stories and shit, I've had travelers that told me this like, yo, you're so emotionally sound and stuff, because I exploited it initially. And then I had to have a change of heart when I got my heart broken. I ain't give a fuck about these bitches back in the day. But then when I would exploit the fact of the listening ear and shit like that. I would listen to him just to exploit, and it's like, I know my way in. You're going to respect me, but you're going to be afraid of the type of nigga that I am when I'm done with you. Not even realizing that. You feel me? But I got my respect. So much so that I could be this nigga. I can be this type of motherfucker that can damage women emotionally and shit like that. But there'll be a woman that'll line up as a pick-me to fuck with a motherfucker like me. Not knowing what I've already done to the women in my past. It wasn't until I started to see, oh, nigga, I did y'all dirty. But I was respected. Y'all still kept fucking with me. The fuck? Because y'all respected me. Because I made y'all afraid. But in that respect that I've gained, I made y'all afraid of the type of motherfucker that I was. Which gives us the whole term of fuck boys and shit like that. But you respected it at first. You don't really hate the fuck boy until you find out that he's a fuck boy. When he's courting and he's charming and he's doing all of the shit that you want him to do, like, nigga, you in love. Until it all comes out. That's been the same motherfucker. It's just this is how I get respected. Now, who's going to respect me more, men or women? Because now I'm in a space where I'm competing for the respect that I must earn against men. So it's like, nigga, I got to have more hoes than you. My hoes got to look better than yours. I got to, like, you know what I'm saying? I have to be more respected than this man. So when I tell people, misogyny begins as the competition between men before it's the hatred of women. This is what I be talking about. I don't be pulling shit out my ass. I be observing, nigga. Like, this is really what it is. I was the boy at one point who was not respected. Now I'm the man who has to be respected, and I still can't because I'm not even in the pool. Like, the whole body count thing. These were the men that didn't have hoes. That's why they mad at the body counts. Because they're not in them. Like, I don't, like, when motherfuckers be like, yo, what would you fuck with a chick that got a lot of bodies? I'm not so much worried about the bodies as I'm worried about how she protected herself and how she took care of herself. You feel me? When I hear women who's like, yeah, I got burnt by this dude, like, I can't fuck with that. That type of, because you were reckless with your shit. That's different. You feel me? I'm fortunate enough, and it's crazy when I talk about this with women, they be like, it's just amazing how you never caught anything. It's not amazing. I use condoms every time. The fuck? I automatically understand, oh nigga, you was just getting fucked raw. Like that's okay. Okay. I never went in anything raw. I never like I was very responsible and I've always protected myself very well. No woman could ever say, ooh, I just want to feel it. No, nah, nah. What big boys say on roses, hold on to raw sex, my AIDS test is flawless. I periodically went and got checked up, like when I was sexually active. Like there was yeah, you not playing with me. You're not playing with me. I stayed on top of my shit. So motherfuckers be like, it's amazing how you did. It's not amazing. No matter how many bodies I got, I was responsible with the bodies that I was catching. I never got burnt. I never got burnt, never caught anything, never had a baby. Never had any woman pregnant. Like, and niggas is shocked how? Cause I wasn't fucking raw. Like, what do y'all niggas not get about that shit? Cause the perception is that everybody else has been fucking raw. Not me. Not me. No sir. No sir. I could not do it. I could not do it. I said, nah, this shit. Like, I just gotta feel it. I don't gotta just feel it, nigga. Like, let me get my nut. Cause that's what I'm in it for, any motherfucker way. Let me get my nut and go on about my business, baby. You feel me? I don't give a fuck how I certain shit just wouldn't fly with me. But I was saying that because when women have spoken that to me, I'm like, nah, like I was responsible enough for that not to happen to me. Now, when you tell me, you've had diseases, you've had abortions, like I can't fuck with you like that. Those are the women, those are the body counts I don't fuck with. Now, don't get me wrong. When you had, if your abortion was on some ectopic shit and you actually wanted it, that's different. I'm not talking about you, but when you just had an abortion just because you like certain shit, like I know a woman who ended up having to get an abortion because she got pregnant because the condoms were on the other side of the room in college, and her and the guy, neither one of them wanted to get up and get them, so she was like, just pull out. Nigga, I can't fuck with you like that. So when motherfuckers like, yo, the body count, if she has a lot, I'm not worried about a lot of bodies. Cause for me, it's like, I can't fuck with somebody who ain't experienced, bro. I done, shit. I've been exposed, my nigga. So for me, I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping on, what I'm saying, the body count. But that's also why I've been celibate. But I'm not tripping on the body count because I'm like, were you safe? Did you protect yourself? And you know what I'm saying? Like, be honest with me. Have you ever caught anything? You feel me? It's like, well, what if she got it cleared up? I don't give a fuck if she got it cleared up. I need to know, because how reckless are you? Niggas be like, it was trusting. No, nigga, how reckless are you? I don't trust anybody that good. Fuck that. I love me entirely too much to put myself in jeopardy for some. No. So it's like, I need to know that you in that same space. You feel what I'm saying? But how many of us that were on the quest to having hoes didn't do that? This is why some niggas ended up with babies and shit. But it's the point that I was making with that. Because this is a whole different tangent. This is what the body count thing is about. This is why I say misogyny is the competition between men, because this is the body count thing. Because these are boys that have had to fight for respect. You're in awe of these niggas that are getting like, I used to have little homies and shit. I ain't gonna say little, because we all grown men now. But at the time, I used to have younger homies come up to me like, yo, how do I talk? I want you to teach me how to talk to a girl. I can't. I can teach you how to say what I say, but I can't teach you how to talk to a woman, bro. I can't teach you how to do it. This only comes from talking to women and constantly fucking up and just redirecting your shit. It got so much, like, I got so proficient with the shit, like, I would get a number in 5 minutes, my nigga. Like, niggas thought I was bullshitting when I said I could do that shit. Like, no. But that's a level of proficiency that I got my respect with. Like, niggas, first day of school. By my sophomore year, the second semester of my sophomore year, my game was so tight. It was ugly. It was ugly. Like I was meeting women who had boyfriends already that was letting me hit before they boyfriend. Nigga, it was shit like that. But that was competition. Misogyny by default develops as the competition between men, which ultimately leads to the hatred of women, because our ultimate competition is procreation, survival of the fittest. Who's gonna get the girls? Nigga, I had them all. And I could fight. So it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll take your bitch from you. And if you want to scrap about it, we can. And it didn't make me no difference. Like, what movie was I watching? Matter of fact, it was fucking, the motherfucker with Hector and Troy. The whole beef of Troy was cause Hector, little brother, took Helen. Cause he was the pretty nigga, and he was the pretty nigga that wasn't. He was the he was the motherfucker who had hoes, and he took Shorty from Agamemnon, brother, who was the warrior. And now it's like, nigga, we gotta go to war. And as Agamemnon, brother, was whooping Paris, that's his name. As Agamemnon, brother, was whooping Paris's ass, he like, this is who you left me for. This is who you left me for. And Helena Troy said, yeah, he has hoes. Like, he's the hoe wrangler, bro. So now when you look at a lot of these wars that happen back in, like, this shit happened over some pussy, bro, because the nigga that lost his bitch was mad. It's wild how the nigga that lost his bitch was mad and the nigga that took the bitch couldn't defend himself. It's crazy. And that's what makes misogyny. Hey yo. Take a moment to really sit and think about that, yo. Misogyny develops. I forgot how I just said that shit, but that shit flows so well. You know, the nigga that couldn't keep his bitch, but he could fight, lost to the motherfucker that couldn't beat him up. And now we hate the girl, because it's like, you put us in this situation. Nah, y'all competing. And I'm saying that because now that misogyny makes us hate the women because we were never respected. Everything that we were taught to use to get respect had to revolve around a woman in some way, shape, or form. Early on, the cool kids got the girls. Like the even if you wasn't like fighting, you played sports. You got active. You was physically active. Who do the women look at? Who do the women check at? Who do the women check for? The men who can get the women, or the men who had the physiques, the men who look strong. And that's how that shit played out, bro. So now when I get older and I'm still struggling to get this shit. I'm still struggling to get this shit. I'm not telling everybody that I'm looking for respect. I am begging to be respected. These niggas have created their podcast where they can bring women on. They bring these women on these podcasts just to rant and vent at them, to go in on them, because now it's like, I was never that respected kid. I was never that respected boy, and now I have some platform where I'm respected, but they only respect me when I'm disrespecting you. Now we getting somewhere deeper. We live in a space where the black man is not respected unless he's disrespecting a black woman, because he's been this way since a boy, trying to get the respect from his people, from everybody. And it's like, oh, you'll respect me when I disrespect my woman. And so frail one, when I talk in my oh my goodness chapter, when I talk about, niggas wearing dresses and the comedians and shit and all of that shit, look at who they portray in these movies that they're making a mockery of. You feel me? It's not an accident why they do it like that. Because I have to make somebody comfortable disrespecting black women. Because you gotta remember, you were never a respected black boy. So now when they say, "Oh, he leave ass for a white girl." When he get on and he do this shit, like, this is why. This is why black women are disrespected, because black boys are not protected. I mean, not black women are not protected because black boys are not respected. Let me make sure I say that right. Black women are not protected because black boys are not respected. So now when they say, "Oh, he went to college and he got the white girl," yeah. Because we don't know that it's respect that's being exploited in us when they take us, you have the people that are there, like when you look at the D1 recruits and it's like, yo, why are they always with white girls? Do you not know what he's been looking for all of his life? Whether she's genuine with the shit or not, she's showing him a level of respect that he's never gotten before. Because again, respect is not to make a motherfucker afraid of you. Respect is to show that something has importance and value. I've never experienced that till I got with this white girl. I've never experienced that till I got with this other girl outside of this. Now, this is not me shitting on my sisters. This is not me shitting on my women saying it's y'all fault that men are doing this or not. Our culture doesn't respect each other. There is no respect in our culture. You feel what I'm saying? There's no respect. This ain't got shit to do with our women. There's no respect in our culture. Because we don't even see blackness that we have as important. That's why y'all keep inviting niggas to the fucking cookout and they keep poisoning us. They turn the shit to a picnic and shut everything down. You know what a picnic is. You know why I said that. You feel me? There's no respect in our culture. Because the way in which we view respect is to make a motherfucker afraid of you. One thing that I've learned about black people is that as a culture, we will thrive and we will put everything into putting the fear of God into our children. How do we put the fear of God in our children? We beat the hell out of them. That string of words is not an accident. Because you automatically perceive that your child has hell in them. In order to want to beat the hell out of a child, you have to perceive that they have hell in them. Why do you feel they have hell in them? Because you've been indoctrinated from this for so fucking long. So what we perceive as respect in our culture ain't respect at all. It's forcing motherfuckers to be afraid of you. And that's what we call respect. And when I come from a familial structure that still honors that still moves in the enslavement ways and breaking shit down from that perspective, it's always going to come back to I have to be violent. My respect comes from violence, period. That's it. Because the very people that I respect were violent to me. The very people that made me respect them were violent to me. More or less. Because they had to put the fear of God in me. Because they had to put the fear of God. They had to have the fear of God put in them. Because that's the only way you can psychologically make a motherfucker not turn their violence against you. Violence, what people don't understand about violence, and this is where shit gets fucked up, and I'm going to trying to wrap this up, but I love the way this is flowing. What people don't understand about violence is that violence is your response to danger. The very people that oppressed you, the very people that put you in bondage, they knew that they were going to do some dangerous shit to you. But they gave you this religion so that they gave you the religion to make sure you're not violent. To make sure you don't respond to their danger, to the danger that they're putting you in. So they have to put the fear of God in you to make sure you're willing to turn the other cheek. To make sure you're going to love thy neighbor. To make sure you're going to give your enemy a second cheek to hit. You know what I'm saying? But shit don't make no sense. Because they put the fear of God in you by default. They made you afraid. Our people have not separated the ideation that fear and to be fearful and to be afraid are two totally different things, but we made them synonymous, so much so we also tie respect to fear. So we perceive that to respect somebody for real is to truly be afraid of them. We've been making sure that our kids were afraid of us since they were kids. Now, when that comes to our boys, how does that translate when we know that when they're internalizing that that's respect? This is the life that they develop in. This is the world that they grow up in. This is the world that they transition themselves into. You feel what I'm saying? It's not accidental, bro. It's not accidental at all. This shit is this shit is how it was designed to work. This is why I did the episode on religious masculinity. You break that first, now all you have to do is make sure a motherfucker doesn't understand what respect is and make sure that they're not respected from the time they're a boy. So now, tying it back in, when masculinity is the spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment of the essence of analysis and deconstruction, and femininity is the spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment of the essence of synthesis and construction. And as I said, When there's no masculinity, you're automatically, as a boy, going to default into toxic femininity, which is what? Destruction. We can't call the young niggas, the YNs, destructive and not realize where the inception comes from. We strip them of the ability to be their masculine selves by analyzing and deconstructing the world, by shifting them into synthesis and construction, making it toxic for them, and not giving them the respect for who they really are. But showing them what gives them respect in this world. To be violent, a violent man or a womanizer. You feel me? Or to be a devout believer and very passive. Now that becomes problematic later down the line, because it's like, oh, this nigga wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. They'll pray. Like this shit different. But this shit starts as a boy, and now as a boy, I've never been able to be respected, ever. Tying it back to what I said in the beginning when I was like, yo, you tell a kid, yo, you simple erasure of a child's emotions and feelings. Yo, they'll tell you, you're getting on my nerves. You ain't got no nerves. Shut up. I'll give you something to cry for. I do this, that, and the third. All it is threats to make the motherfucker afraid of you. You calling that shit respect. What do you think is going to happen when they get older and they're looking for respect, my nigga? They're going to find respect the same way that they've always had to give it to somebody. Because respect is given, it's not earned. The respect that you earn from me is by you being violent and belittling me. Oh, this shit about to be lit, nigga. When motherfuckers be like, yo, how can men be disrespectful to women? How can men say whatever they want to say to women? And this goes into why they took the man out of the home, because now we want to make sure that his only form of respect is going to come towards a woman that doesn't respect him. I want to be valued and feel as if I'm important, but the person, our culture, has defined respect as make something afraid of you. Our mothers make our sons afraid of them, because it's like, I have to make sure that you can't do anything crazy against me when you get older. This shit is cyclic, my nigga. This shit is designed to happen. So now when they say, no, you've already tried. You had to make him afraid of you so that he couldn't, quote unquote, buck up against you. The same way a slave master had to make the strong ones afraid to buck up against them. They had to use the mothers to do it. I wasn't shitting on the women saying it's their fucking fault. I'm saying it's a system. As I explained, when motherfuckers say 70% of the boys raised of a single mother will go to prison, and motherfuckers look like it's the mother's fault. It's not the mother's fault. It's the systems that's in place. There is a system in place to make sure that women are having their sons alone. So that way we can guarantee that 7 out of every 10 boys raised of a mother with no man in the home will go to prison. We know how to fill the fucking prisons. How? Because we now know that if we just simply strip the masculine essence away and we make the perception of respect what we want it to be, everything else will fall in place. Everything else will fall in place. She's going to create a son where she doesn't want him to be violent, because then the police are going to get involved. You feel me? That's why it's like, you either going to have a violent son, you're going to have a womanizer, or you're going to have a homosexual. If you're raised of a mother and then the father is not in the home, you're going to have a violent man, you're going to have a womanizer, or you're going to have a homosexual. Or all three in some cases. You ever seen, and it all manifests itself from the perspective of, as I said, with the religious masculinity. Take it back. That dynamic has always been there, the mother-son relationship. Relationships have to pattern themselves off mother-son relationship. When our girls are taught and matured into being women and shit like that, what we end up telling our girls is that you have to be the mother to a man. Take care of him, help him out of the streets, help him, get his shit together. That's what they'll tell you. And that's been the case since slavery, since we were breeders on a fucking breeding farm. Make sure the girls are mentally and emotionally sound to start conceiving kids, because they're going to make them conceive early. But make sure the boys aren't mentally mature enough, because they'll rebel and say, I'm not doing this. This shit started then and never stopped. We don't look at the inception of the shit that's been going on for so fucking long, y'all. But we're acting like this shit ain't a reality that's playing out and happening. And so now when you have, now the indoctrination is so powerful, it's like, we don't got to beat these motherfuckers. We just got to sit them in front of a TV. We talk about behold a pale horse, sit little Johnny in front of the TV and let him watch videos, and nobody talks about what they talk about, what they done to little Jill. You're a strong, independent woman who doesn't need a man. You can raise kids by yourself. You can do all of these things by yourself. So now every time you have a son, you're going to open up the world that his respect is going to be determined a certain way. His respect is going to be contingent upon you. Now, he's going to simultaneously hear about how you don't respect his father. He's going to simultaneously watch how men don't respect you. He's going to simultaneously see how respect is not in his realm in any way, shape, or form. And he's going to see how your perspective of respect is going to be completely tainted. Now, he doesn't want to be like the men who keep wronging you. So if you're dealing with an abusive man and he sees that, he might become that abusive man if that's what you allow, because the man is out of the home. Now, when a man stays in the home and a nigga become abusive, the boy's going to be abusive. Oh, mama, this is what you allow. So that means this is what these bitches are supposed to allow. Now, what you don't allow, it's like, okay, I know these women ain't going to allow this shit. Simple. Again, I'm not blaming women. I'm showing y'all that there's a system in place to make sure this shit will happen so they can create the boys that become what they are. A criminal is a motherfucker who couldn't find respect going the right route, and he finds it in the other way. It ain't hard, y'all. It ain't hard. But our culture, our society, the way in which we are as black people is always going to be the foundational piece is always going to come down to how we respect our boys and what we respect them for. Right now, we only respect them for being violent, being womanized, or being homosexual. And that's from the jump. Society has pushed it. You watch TV, you watch the imagery and shit like that. Motherfuckers, it's crazy how one of the things that get me is like, especially when it comes to the homosexual side of it all and shit, women will say they don't want a gay son, but they have gay best friends that are men. Nigga, what? You just shown your son that there's like, you don't have a straight best friend. You don't like straight men. Back to the Doechii thing. A red flag is a heterosexual man a straight heterosexual man is a red flag for her. How many mothers have co-signed that and their sons heard them co-sign that shit? And yet you don't want your son. You want your son to be straight. But at the same time, all your son sees is how you respect homosexual men far more than you respect black men. I mean, straight men. And I mean really respect, because there's an innate feeling that we understand that, like I said, with love comes correction. The definition is already within us. It has to be tainted through imagery, but we know what it is. Just like respect, we know that respect is to hold something of importance, to show that something has importance or significance. We know this already. But now, when you show me what you respect far more than you know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make no sense. You show me that you respect homosexual. There's an importance that you have for the homosexual man that you don't have for the straight man. And you show me every day. Why would I want to be a straight man when I know that you don't even like that? So that automatically makes me perceive that none of the women like really. And that's how we get to the world that we in right now. When Pac said, I'm going to say this and I'm going to start trying to wrap it up. When Pac said, I wonder why we take from our women, why we rape our women. Do we hate our women? It's time we heal for our women, time to kill for our women, be real to our women. If we don't, we have a race of babies that will hate the ladies that make the babies. Tupac saw what was already in the works. The reason why we have that is because of this very reason, because of the simple ideation and the idea of respect. Our culture doesn't know what respect is, and we don't know how to respect each other. Therefore, our boys have to find respect in a certain vein, in a certain dynamic. It turns them into young niggas. These YNs y'all keep saying are wildin', all they're looking for is respect. All they're looking for is respect. And they know how to get it. They know exactly how to get it. Because you either going to respect my violence. Because now, when I look at respect, it has to be fear. Because now, you're going to respect me. When it comes to us, quote unquote, respecting religion, a lot of us had a religion beat into us. Even in modern times. You don't say nothing again. I'm not saying anything against God. I'm speaking on a religion. Like, you feel me? Put the fear of God in something, but you automatically, in putting the fear of God, you teach the child that fear is to be afraid of something. Then you make respect and fear synonymous. So in order for anybody to respect me, I have to fear it. You know what that does when your connection between a child and a parent is I have to be afraid of you? But yet, every day, you tell me you love me. Every day you try to encourage me, but there comes a snap when that real reality comes in and you don't respect who I am. I said it in Sofra 2, I believe it was, or Sofra 3, one of them is like, it gets to a point where when this is how you made me respect you, by being afraid of you, what do you think is going to happen to you when it's time for you to respect me? And don't forget to check out Palacafe Clothing, formerly Just Scenes merch. Get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all of the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Palacafe Clothing. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and end it there, yo. Y'all know this episode wasn't even supposed to happen. Like, I don't know where this episode came from. Like, I didn't have an idea. I literally just started talking and just let it flow. But I really didn't have an idea first. But I felt like it should still, because there was a time when we was doing these episodes, when I was doing these episodes where, I don't know if y'all ever caught on to it, but every episode was a segue from the next one. So it was like an alley-oop into the next one. I got off somewhere from doing that. I don't know where, but it was like every episode is like a story that keeps going. So coming in from this one with the religious masculinity and then being able to go into, respect and everything like that, it's like, yo, a lot of people, we talk about effects. And this is why I like talking about the 12 laws of the universe and shit. I don't give a fuck about the commandments. I don't give a fuck about religion, yo. I like talking about the laws of the universe because they don't change. We love to talk about the effects, but never the causes. The causes be right there in our motherfucking face. If we just look at the effects and go back to the roots of we can find the causes. But we get so wrapped up in the effects and the details of the shit, which is femininity, that we can't see and break down and analyze and deconstruct to get back to the principle. Masculinity. So when we looking at our misconception of respect, and then that being what motherfucker has to earn. I have to earn. Think about this. I have to earn the right to make motherfuckers afraid of me. Respect isn't given; it is earned. But I'm programmed to believe that respect is to make that to be respected is to be afraid of. Why are we shocked when our kids do the shit that they do? Why are we shocked when our boys are wilding the way that they wilding? We have this whole concept of where women are now saying, I'd rather be in the woods with the bear than with a man. Why? We don't get that. We don't see how that ties to this. I would be more afraid of a bear than I would be a man. Now, on the man's perspective, it's just respect for me. I told niggas I want to be respected. And they told me that you got to make motherfuckers afraid of you. This is what I perceived as a boy. And it wasn't until I got older that I realized, oh, respect is to have something of importance. And this is what I was saying. I kind of got off, and I'm glad I did, because I didn't want to get that shit no energy anyway. But this is what I was talking about with interracial relationships. A lot of people be like, black men will say, well, I get into this relationship because, when they talk about why they in interracial relationships, it's never about the interracial person they relating to. It's about why they just don't deal with black women. You know what I'm saying? It's never actually why they like white women or why it's just in spite. But the reason why it's in spite, and we're going to try to start bringing this shit on. The reason why it's in spite is because those women are not programmed to make the man afraid of them. And vice versa. Their culture is not about respect being, I'm going to be afraid of you. Our culture is. This is why when it comes to our conversations, it's always the attitude this, the attitude that. Women say, I'll be submissive when a man can do this. And the third's like, I'll be submissive to the man, or whatever the case may be, when I respect him. I respect him when he can make me afraid of him. Jill Scott has the line so eloquently put. People don't even realize how deep this shit is in our culture. If you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. If I'm not afraid of you when you tell me some shit, I ain't got no reason to listen to you. It sounded good and poetic when Aunt Jill said it. Like she said it in a way that probably wasn't meant like this, but our culture is rooted in this shit. If you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. If you can tell me what to do in a way in which I will listen to it, but I only listen to motherfuckers I'm afraid of. I know. It's different, and it's difficult to actually continue to move this way, the way that we are. Because it's foul. It's fucked up. Our culture is sick, bro. But now when we look at our boys have to grow up to be men, still in the same context. If you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what it's like. I have to. That's the only way you're going to listen to me? Now, granted, there's levels to what that could actually mean. There's levels to what that could actually mean. But you got to go back to when a child is first able to conceive and understand that. In order for you to listen to me, you have to respect me. But all my life, I've been programmed to believe that respect is to make something afraid of me. To be respected means that I'm feared. To be respected means that everything around me is afraid of me. The only way to make something afraid of you is to physically dominate it. Now we get in relationships where women say, why are men always trying to humble women? I need to get respected. And bitch, you don't respect me right now, so I gotta humble your stupid ass. Dramatically, of course. Y'all know how this shit plays out. Y'all know how I be talking, but that's what this game is about. You're going to respect me. But even deeper than that, I have to make you afraid of me to do so. So now when men are confused, when we confuse, why would she choose a bear over us? Nigga. Because all of our lives, we've been programmed to believe that our respect is tied to making things afraid of us. To being domineering, to being dominant and shit. Ain't no peace in this motherfucker. But it ain't no respect as defined by showing that there's importance. Showing one's important. Like, imagine having to earn the reality that you're important and you're a human being. You have to earn it. And as a man, you have to earn it. But as a black man, you have to earn it. You have to work twice as hard to get half as much as some shit. Or you can shortcut it, have hands or have hoes. They're not going to respect you. Like, that's what the cry is. Motherfuckers, they didn't respect the nerd in the anime when we was in school and shit. Nah, because, nigga, you didn't just like anime. You ran down the hallway like Naruto. And that's okay if that's what you was doing. You feel me? But this is how it was played out. Like, I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of a motherfucker running like that. You're humorous to me. So therefore, there's no respect there because I'm not afraid of that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm afraid of the motherfucker who would fight teachers. I'm afraid of the motherfucker who would wow the fuck out just because I'm afraid of that nigga. So I respect him. You feel me? The women, I'm afraid of the motherfucker who can get to my heart so easy. I'm afraid of the motherfucker who can just get all of the girls and he's like, I'm afraid of that, but I respect him. That's what respect is. That's what our culture has showed us what respect is. You're afraid. You're afraid. When somebody respects you, they're afraid of you. You feel what I'm saying? I see it all of the time, and these are the things that I'm learning just from conversations. Somebody will say something, and I respond. I respond to how they say it. They'll be like, "Oh no, I didn't mean you didn't offend me. This is just how I responded to it. Why are you jumping? Why are you acting like I'm trying to bite your head off? I'm not trying to bite your head off, but you respect me, but you're also afraid of me because you have made the respect and being afraid synonymous, and that's not the case. So now, our boys, I'm gonna keep spinning this shit back to them because I need this to be understood. Black women are not protected because black boys are not respected. Black women are not protected because black boys are not respected. And black boys are not respected because nobody's afraid of them. Because the respect is not about importance, it's about, nigga, I ain't afraid of you until you become afraid of me. And now I'm a young nigga. Now I'm a YN. Now I'm wilding out. No, I finally got my respect. And because as an adult, as a society, as a culture, as a people, you never told me that respect is about being valued for my importance. You made me believe that respect was to be afraid. You shown me that to be respected, that you show me that I'm not respected unless you're afraid of me. You've shown me that. I've seen it in movies. I've seen it in households. I've seen it in everything. You look like you want to hit me. Do something. And I can't. Exactly. Sit your ass down. Make me afraid of you and call it respect. That's been the theme the whole time. Make me afraid of you and call it respect. So now I'm telling you, respect is given. Respect is earned, not given. I'm going to make you afraid of me and call it respect. But now that you're viewing it through my lens, you see that it's not respect. Because when a child does to the parent or the child does to the adult, the very thing the adult is doing to the child, they call the child disrespectful. But they don't realize that, nigga, you're disrespecting the child because they're emulating what you've done to them. But they're a child, so it's okay. It's okay until the boys develop into YNs. They don't give a fuck about shit. They don't give a fuck about shit. But they know that they got motherfuckers afraid of them. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And this very well could have been a So For Real Conversations, but I had to tie it into why black women are not respected. This is it. This is why y'all not protected. If y'all ever had a question as to why, because the boys are not respected. Because our culture doesn't even know what respect is. Make motherfuckers afraid of you, and that's how you gain your respect. We learn that as boys from an early age. And then it evolves into, oh, get money. Have money, have bitches, have hoes, be able to fight. But it starts and begins with make motherfuckers afraid of you. Keep pushing until you can make motherfuckers afraid of you, and they'll love you. They'll respect you. Drill music, that whole scene, gangster, like all of that shit was like, yo, how easy can you kill a motherfucker? How well can you do all of the shit? Because these young niggas is wildin'. They not wildin'. They making motherfuckers afraid of them so they can be respected. You get to a point where your name is so respected and so feared in these streets that motherfuckers don't fuck with you because they're afraid. Yo, I got respect. I got too much respect. No, you're afraid of me, nigga. I used to hear that shit when I was younger and shit. Like motherfuckers be like, yo, I respect you. No, you're afraid of me. When me and my homie got surrounded by them niggas and they was like, yo, the beef ain't even rich, you Ray. I got respect for you. No, you're afraid of me. You just didn't know I was affiliated with him. You're afraid of me. That's where your respect is. Because now when I tell you, yeah, all right, when we gonna pull up with these things on us, it is what it is. Oh, no, we ain't got no beef no more. My homie laughing, yo, these niggas pussy, bro. No, nigga, they was afraid of me. They were willing to jump you, but they was afraid of me. And the reason why they were afraid of me because it goes deeper than just me. It's the family that I come from. It's the family. It's like niggas know them. Nigga, if we deal with this nigga, bro, we gotta deal with these niggas, bro. If we deal with these niggas, it ain't gonna end good. Like, and it's not just my immediate. I mean, this is my immediate family, but it's just not. It's generations of this shit. I'm the third of the generation of motherfuckers that niggas just didn't fuck with. And I'm not saying it on some I'm not saying it on some braggadocious type shit. No, I got stories where motherfuckers will say we don't fuck with that family. We don't fuck with that family, my nigga. And it wasn't until I went to like family reunions and shit and seen them all, I'm like, y'all niggas ain't right. Y'all niggas ain't right. But y'all niggas are respected because motherfuckers are afraid of y'all. Motherfuckers are afraid of y'all. But y'all got respect because we have a misnomer of what respect really is. Now, again, I'm not saying don't make motherfuckers not afraid of you. Fuck that. I'm all about, like, I'm still about respect from that perspective, but we need to understand that our boys don't need to be, they need to know that they're important first. Teach that other shit later. But they need to know respect as it's important. It's not make motherfuckers afraid of you. Because everybody's now running into a motherfucker that ain't afraid no more because they got equalizers. A lot of motherfuckers didn't get shot because the nigga didn't know. Like, no, nigga, I was afraid of this nigga. And I got to put him down. I'm not afraid no more. He doesn't exist. What's there for me to be afraid of? This is what we got to make sure our young boys are prepared for. This is what we got to make sure our young boys are no longer contributing into. If we can, I'm saying, look, this cause and effect, baby. If we fix this cause, that the young boys are out here looking for respect and they're making motherfuckers afraid, if we fix that, black women will start being protected. When black women are protected, black boys get respected. When black boys get respected, black women get protected. Why? Because the channel in which he grows up. When the black boy who is respected grows into the black man, he is not disrespectful, which means he's going to protect the women who are willing to. But when we hear these music, fuck niggas, you a munch. I don't give a fuck about this nigga. I don't give a fuck about that. Our boys hear it first. And they go through middle school. They go through elementary school not being respected. So now when I get older and I finally have the hands and the hoes and shit like that, and it's already programmed. Fuck y'all bitches. I'm gonna make you afraid of me, which makes you want to choose a motherfucking bear. Our culture needs to stop this shit. This ain't us, bro. We've assimilated into these motherfuckers so fucking bad that we've lost our shit. For them, they've always relied on respect being making motherfuckers afraid. Now we've integrated it, and now that we do it, everybody's afraid of us. They're afraid of our boys, and our boys aren't scary. As a motherfucker who used to do the wild shit like that, we wasn't scary. We were just trying to be respected, and you made us believe that to be respected means to make motherfuckers afraid of you. So we did. And now everybody's afraid of us. But I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.